Well, we're shedding it again today, right?
Yep.
What's on the, since you're the ramrod of this show, what's on the agenda for today? What are you going to try to get done?
I'm going to try to get some of the beams built around this thing, the header beams. It's actually going to hold the rafters and get all that figured out where it goes, because it's going to strike a different place on each post because they're uneven. So I'm going to find the level of them, each one, start with the lowest one and level from it all the way around, and that's how tall the inside of this thing's going to be. I've got to still be sure that even at the lowest point I can still get the tractor in it, but I think I can with the length of posts I got.
So is that your first, before you get started on that, what do you got to do? You said you was going to...
I'm going to build some little scaffold legs off these poles where I can put a walkboard on them and get up there to where I can get all this done.
You tuned up your chainsaw.
Well, yeah, a little bit. It's an old saw, and I don't want to use my good one on this. It's too heavy anyway. So I've got a one I've had 30 years, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Since we used it to cut out trees to build our house.
Yeah, it's still running, so that's the one I'm going to use.
We'll get all that done. That'll be good. Then what'll be next? Then you'll start worrying about rafters.
Yeah, then I'll have to get more material and get the rafter material and stuff here and get started on that.
Sounds like a plan.
Yep, just a lot of work. This is aggravating as it can be.
Spruce is more expensive though.
Not really, but it is a little.
Can I hold it?
I can hold it, I believe.
That's good though. I mean, that's positive.
Golly, I grabbed that thing right there. Get that beam on this thing.
Yeah, I could. Paul would be happy to help. Where is he? Is he around?
I ain't even got it built yet. Before I put it up there, I've got to do this same thing. I got to find this one, but I really can't find it until I got the beam built because that's the only thing that's going to be long enough to find it,
Yeah.
and it's heavy.
That's the part.
And I've got to get it up there and mark it and find it, and then cut everything and then put it up there again.
Right, it's a 2-time deal. That's the part you need help on.
Mark the rest of this. I've got to cut a big notch out of that.
How big to know? How do you know how big to mark it?
Well, I've already got the lower measurement of the beam where it's going to strike, and I'll just transfer that around. When I build the beam, it'll be 3 inches deep. Come in 3 inches, come down to that line and cut that out. Rough, but it'll just have to do. You reckon? Alright, now then, if I had... I need to go down there and steal Austin's other 6-foot ladder, and I can leave that in where it is. Put it over there, slide this board, and then I've got 2 of them. I don't have to move, I don't have to keep moving back and forth. Or I could go down here and get this ladder, I guess. It's just taller. It won't fit in there as well.
Matt had to move his braces on this one. They were in the way of where he's going to need to cut up there. He's just adjusting as he goes.
thing right there cut.
Can you say grandma?
What Woody said. Just hanging on the hill for you too one day. Is he still living? He's a dandy. Let's find something to eat.
Dinner time?
Yeah. I'm starving.
Coming fed?
I started unfed.
Matt got this big beam up. Now he's ready just to start going around the sides, adding the header beams. That was the major hurdle. That one was really big. He used his tractor to help him put it up there, which has come in. Another reason the tractor's great, right?
We didn't have that, I wouldn't have got it up there.
Yeah, we wouldn't have got it up there. So now he's ready. The hardest part's over, ready to start around the sides. Calling it a quits, ain't we? Calling it quits for today?
Yeah, didn't get a whole lot done, but
I think you got a lot done.
I'm glad to have that big front beam up. That's what I was dreading the worst, but it turned out it wasn't so awful bad. Anyway, got the lower side and got it headered up as well. So all we got to do is do it again, finish up, then that part of it will be done. So the front beam, I just made it out of just doubled up 2x10s, and it's a pretty good span, but it's not going to be holding anything. It's not bearing wall. All it's just holding the gable end. Whatever I put above it, you know, like siding or whatever, that's all it's going to be holding. These side ones that I put up, it's holding all the weight, and it's a double 2x8, one on each side of the post. I didn't cut them into the post just because I didn't want to. I'll go back probably and put a couple of big lag screws in each end of each board. Even though I've got a lot of nails in it, I'll probably go back and put big lag screws in there, and that'll more than hold that. All it's going to be on this is just rafters and stripping and the old tin that used to be on our house. So it's not a lot of weight, other than if it comes a big snow, and it ain't snowed that much in decades here, so I'm not going to worry too much about that.
And if it does snow, I will jump up and down and dance, and then I'll come out here and sweep it off.
Okay. I'd like to watch that.
Yeah.
In between those, on the sides, I'll just put just a scrap end of one of these 6x6s in there, just to hold the two, just for blocking, to hold the two together in case. Mostly just for until I can get this thing covered. The sun's real hard on those yellow pine boards. It'll warp them and twist them, and what that does, just hold it together. Keeps them from spreading apart in the sun, and just keeps them the right width apart, so that when I do get started putting the rafters on, they'll be in the right place when I go to fasten those. I'm kind of glad we got as much done as we did, even though we didn't get a great deal done. I'm just glad that front beam's up. I've been dreading that one for days. I didn't realize that the tractor would lift it as high as it did, and it got it all the way up on one end, and the other end got it within a couple of feet, so that all I had to do is just get my shoulder under it and lift it on up into the notch. So I'm not too worried about none of the rest of it, but I was a little bit worried about that, doing it by myself. So the rest of it, if I need a little help, I'll get Austin or somebody to help me when it comes time to set the rafters, and that won't be heavy. It just needs somebody on each end of it.
I cannot believe the wind.
I can, it's March.
I know.
Comes every year.
It's just unbelievable. Started out this morning, the wind wasn't that bad, but as the day went on, it got worse and worse and worse. And we didn't notice it, but Banks is messing with the camera. We didn't notice it, but it blew our little greenhouse, our cold frame. It blew the top off. It's down the bank. Matt will have to go get it. It's some gusty wind. How fast, or what do they say, miles per hour or gust, whatever?
I think I seen it's going to be like 25 mile an hour gust today.
You think that's what it is?
Probably, yeah.
It's windy. It started out this morning, it wasn't that bad. As the day went on, it grew a wind, right?
It did.
The wind grew. I love those old sayings where they talk about a young flood and a young wind. I've even read that one. I've never heard nobody say that. I have heard them say young flood. But just means it's not as much as a full-grown one, in other words. It's a neat way to say it, old-timey way.
I used to work the feather that said young snow.
Young snow?
Yeah.
Well, this is a full-grown major wind, for sure.
Yep.
You can hear the trees creaking and sighing and kind of moaning.
Them wind chimes is hollering calf rope.
Yeah, they've had
enough.
They may blow away and be gone after this. They may. Well, I guess it's about time for us to go in and get out of the wind and get Matt something to eat.
I guess.
I had to go to Granny's. I'm going to make Matt spaghetti tonight, something really easy. I was going to make it last night and realized I didn't have any noodles. And by that time, me and Matt just gave up. He ate potato soup, leftovers, and I made a egg sandwich. But anyway, today I thought, well, I'll go down at Granny's and borrow some. That's the wonderful thing about living near your family. You can just go borrow stuff. But
sometimes you don't even have to ask.
Well, yeah, that's true. So I went in house and said, hey, and then I said, I want to see if I could get some spaghetti. And Paul said, sure, you can have all you want, but how did you know I made it? And I said, no, I'm going to make it too. He didn't, we must be on the same wavelength. So he'd made spaghetti for him and Granny to eat. He thought I was coming to get some of it, but I said, no, I just want the noodles. I'm going to go home and make my own spaghetti. We must have been thinking alike today, though.
Yep.
We're always glad when you come by to celebrate Appalachia with us, even when it's in the middle of a windstorm.